Welcome to the Red Story. If you like, subscribe. I will understand that everything is not in vain. I'm a 31-year-old woman in a really horrible situation, and I have no idea what to do right now. I'm very new to Reddit and just needed advice, so sorry in advance for the format and the length. This is very long. I'm probably going to get criticized for this, but while you're at it, at least give me advice on how to proceed. My husband, a 33-year-old man, and I have been together for 8 years, married for 6. We have a son together who is 4 and have been in a very happy and fulfilling relationship until about 6 months ago. Then I started an affair with my ex from college that lasted about 4 months. I genuinely had no intentions of cheating and thought it was just catching up with an old friend when he reached out to me. I don't even know why I did it or why I let it go on for so long. So yeah, it lasted for 4 months and we were regularly having sex, both at my and my husband's home, my affair partner's AP home, and in hotels whenever his place was unavailable. And yes, he is married with 3 kids. During this time, I became increasingly distant from my husband, and he began to notice. He's a very smart man, and he knows whenever something isn't right. Well, one night he asked me flat out if I was cheating on him. I denied it, of course, but he didn't back down. He told me while looking into my eyes that he knew something was up, but that he was going to let this go because he had no proof. However, he said if he found out down the road that I had lied to him, we would be done, no questions asked. I took that threat very seriously and immediately ended it with the AP. He reluctantly agreed to end it, and I devoted myself to being the best wife and mother I possibly could. I felt very guilty for how I had neglected my husband and started initiating intercourse more, doing things in bed I normally wouldn't do, helping more around the house and with our child. My husband was very cold to me in the beginning, but things went back to normal after a while. One day, my AP contacted me again via Facebook. I told him in no uncertain terms that we were done, and he said he wanted us to meet one last time. I foolishly agreed to this, and we decided to meet up at a hotel 2 hours from where I live. I wanted to experience this one last time before calling it quits for good. As you can guess already, this didn't go according to plan. After AP and I were done, I received a short text from my husband that read, "I know where you are, who you are with, and what you are doing. We are done. Don't bother coming back home. I transfer half of our savings into your checking account. Have a good life." I can't describe the wave of emotions I felt at that moment. I tried calling him and texting him, but he had me blocked on everything. He eventually unblocked my phone number, but said it was only to deal with our son. Everything else was going to be through his lawyer. I've never been more depressed in my life than when this happened. I decided to go home the next day, but he wasn't there. Neither was our son. Whenever I texted him, he would only respond if I asked about my son. He sent me a text saying we would each have our son for a week and nothing else. I couldn't talk to his side of the family because they all had me blocked and my family was very disappointed in me. My best friend is the only person I could talk to. I had literally no contact with my husband for a whole week, and when I did, it was to inform me that his brother would be bringing our son over to me for my week of custody. This was the most painful period of my life. How could he be so cruel and indifferent? Aren't we supposed to talk about things like this? I know I probably deserve it, but he never even gave me the chance to apologize or explain. The guilt I have in the way he is treating me are literally driving me insane. I feel like he never even loved me if he can be this emotionless. I'm not even asking him to take me back just to talk, yell at me, anything. Doesn't he want some form of closure, at least? This brings me to today. I got served divorce papers, and I literally can't believe he'd go this far without even having as much as a talk. Yes, I shouldn't have cheated, but I can't help but feel like this reaction is very extreme. I haven't even read the papers or hired a lawyer. Things just can't end this way. I sent him a text telling him that I would contest this divorce even if it leaves us in financial ruin. So my question to all you strangers is, what should I do? I'm really lost right now and I can't even function. I can't believe my whole life is about to end and I'm not even being given the chance to fix it. Should I contact the police since I don't know where he is and he changed the locks to our house? Any advice will be appreciated. Edit. I said those things because I was angry about him ignoring me and just want a reaction. I don't care what it is. He can yell, even hit me if it will make him feel better, but I just want to be able to fix this. I love him. We all make mistakes, and I get that this post may have sent the wrong impression, but I am remorseful. I really am. I know I messed up, but I just want the chance to make this right for him and our son. I really don't know why I did what I did. I didn't even love my AP. My husband is the first man I have ever loved, AP, and I had a friends with benefits relationship in college, and my other relationships were nowhere close to the relationship I had with my husband. Sex with my husband was the best I've ever had, and he was my best friend. So I'm having a really hard time accepting the fact that I'm losing him for good. No one knows how that feels. I can't live without him. Update. It's been about 3 weeks since this happened. I tried to be less pushy with my contact with him, but I don't know what else to do. He's even moving towards putting our house on sale as per the divorce. He's offered 50-50 custody of our son, but I feel like his generosity with the divorce aspect of things is to make me feel even more guilty than I already do. I know I deserve what I'm getting, but knowing how much pain I've caused him is heartbreaking, and I can't do anything about it. Comments. Take a step back and think about what your husband wants. He's made it pretty obvious through his actions. He wants you to leave him alone, sign the papers, and accept his decision. That's what will make him feel better. Are you going to deny him that after all the pain you've put him through? Or are you going to continue putting your own wants first? You're not going to be able to stop this divorce. Some bells cannot be unrung. So now your options are to do the childish thing and drag it out just because you aren't getting what you want, or do the mature thing and sign the papers so you can be civil co-parents to your son. How can he be so cruel? I'm sorry, but he's hurt. He prefers this over confronting you because he doesn't want to be weak and let you do it again. This was a test. He wanted to see if you were genuinely over being a cheater, and you weren't. You proved to him that you would do it again and again. He was hesitant and cold at the beginning because he was already hurt and didn't want to be weak, but he gave in. You probably thought, I just want to see if she really is over the cheating, but you weren't. You dug your grave. Men have feelings too. Story 2. Should I tell my boyfriend about my emotional affair? Hi all. I feel like I could write so much about this issue because it's eating me up inside, but I will try and keep it brief. I've been with my partner for approximately 2 years. It's a long-distance relationship, but we see each other once every week or two. I'm incredibly happy with him. I see a real future together. Marriage, everything. I think he is the one for me, and I think he feels the same. But the issue is we were in a bad patch about a year back. We talked about ending the relationship but didn't. Around this time, I got back in touch with my ex. My boyfriend knew that my ex and I were speaking and he wasn't thrilled but consented to it. My ex and I became friends. We talked a lot, texted, called, and hung out. My boyfriend doesn't know the extent to which we were in touch or how often we talked. Nothing physical ever happened, but I developed feelings for him again. I told him I like you as more than a friend. After saying that, alarm bells went off in my head, and I haven't seen him since. However, we kept in touch as friends, but there was more emotional attachment than a friendship. Finally, after several months, I cut things off. He's contacted me several times since, but I ignore his messages. I don't know why it took me so long to realize or accept maybe that I was doing something wrong. Or why it took so long to stop speaking to my ex. There's no excuse, but I think I was just lonely. I didn't have many friends at the time. It's been a year since, and I've never told my boyfriend. I spoke to a counselor about what happened, and she said that telling my partner would only serve to relieve my guilt, but needlessly damage the relationship. But I am still consumed with guilt. I am ashamed for having let myself form an attachment with my ex again. I love my boyfriend more than words can say. But would he want to be with me if he knew the full story? That question is painful to think about. What should I do? Should I tell my boyfriend? Or should I accept that I made a mistake and leave it? Any advice is much appreciated. Thank you. Comments. Bringing it up will just hurt the relationship. You did nothing wrong. You heard the alarms in your head and caught those feelings before they could become a mistake. I am all for honesty in a relationship, but when it's not a need-to-know thing and you didn't do anything particularly wrong, it's not something that needs to be brought up. Don't feel guilty. It is natural to have feelings for other people when they fade away. I was shocked when I first got married that I still had crushes on people. I never expected that to happen. You're human, and part of the human experience is feeling things that you can't control. But I commend you for not cheating and being honest with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Nothing to feel guilty over. Why do you want to tell your boyfriend? To make yourself feel better? Unburden yourself and, in the process, make him feel bad? Technically, you have not been unfaithful. Most men don't even know what emotionally unfaithful means. Does it mean you want to hurt him? Give yourself a few kicks up your backside to stay away from your ex. This is your problem. It would be selfish of you to tell your boyfriend.